Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be focused on how to increase the size of your arms. I'm going to go over the training program that I use for this, why it's important, and all the other details you need to know to blow up your arms, basically. So, let's stop messing around and get straight into it. First of all, I want to touch on why it's really important to train your arms properly. As I mentioned in my previous videos relating to my bench press, triceps and strong triceps are really vital in having a big bench, as when you go to that lockout phase, your triceps what really drives that bar up. So obviously having strong triceps helps there. And then when you're doing your pull movements, like your back movements, you actually incorporate a lot of your biceps in that. So again, having strong biceps there will be able to help you pull more weight, so you can lift heavier, and then obviously you know why that's important. You'll be able to gain a lot more strength and a lot more size from that. So that's why it's really important to have strong arms, so obviously they can aid you in those lifts, to increase size overall and obviously strength. So let's get into how often you should be training your arms. So for me, if you have bodybuilding on one side and powerlifting on the other, I'm more of the bodybuilding route, as I'm not too interested in strength. Obviously strength is important to me. I want to increase my strength, but it's not my main goal overall. My main goal is to just put on size. So I don't really train push-pull legs. I didn't really enjoy that. I still hit every muscle group twice a week in the upper body and legs once. Sort of touched on that in my previous videos, but I've got a plan when I reach 100 subscribers, or if I reach 100 subscribers, to go over my training plan in full detail, to go down to every rep, every set, why I do it the way I do, and sort of explain my plans for the future, really, because there's something interesting that I do have planned, which you'll probably want to know. So, just to sort of break up the video, if or when I do hit 100 subscribers, I will release that long video going over my plan in detail and why I train the way I do, because I have certain goals in mind. So, the way I train my arms, I have an arm day on a Thursday, and then I train triceps with shoulders on Monday, and I train biceps with back on Saturday. So I'm hitting my arms twice a week. Now, whether you're powerlifting or bodybuilding, obviously if you're powerlifting, you're going to be probably push-pull legs. You will be hitting your triceps and biceps in the big compound lifts. But if you're doing like a sort of bro split or your own sort of split, you want to try and hit your arms twice a week with every other muscle group, really. A lot of people will say that you don't need an arm day, but personally I prefer to have an arm day, and then the other times when I'll hit my triceps and biceps will be mixed with other muscle groups like the shoulders and back, as I said. The reason why I train triceps with shoulders is just because shoulders, is sort of a push movement, and so is triceps, and then biceps is a pull movement, so I train that with back because they do get activated as well in those back exercises. So that is why I train on those days. You can just have an arm day if you want, or you can do push-pull legs and you can work them that way, but as I said, I'm more of the bodybuilder route, so I tend to do it like that just because it suits me better and I sort of enjoy that more than just having included in like a push-pull legs. Okay, another element to this training is obviously an element that I've mentioned in my previous videos, where you want to leave a good rest period between like each time you train your arms. Basically the same principle for any muscle group. You don't want to train it back to back. You don't want to do an arm day and then do back and biceps the next day, because your arms aren't going to be fully recovered, and you want to rest, because when you're resting, that is when you're going to grow the most. So it is important to rest. So make sure whatever training split you are on, you need to hit all the muscles in your arm, because it's not just triceps and biceps, they're all split into different muscles. So I'm going to go over what muscles they are, and what exercises cover them. Okay, so I'm going to go over the biceps first. So your biceps are broken down into three muscles. You've got the short head, the long head, and the brachialis. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct on the brachialis, but I'm going to go with it anyway. So on the screen now, it's going to be a photo, so you can see the breakdown of sort of where they are in your arm, just so you have a reference point there. And it's important to make sure you're training all of these, as you don't just want to be training one of them or two of them. You want to be hitting every single one. So you're giving out a fair distribution to all the muscles you have in your arms, which will help you grow quicker and you gain the most strength, as obviously you're training everything apart from training like the short head or just the long head or whatever. So on that picture as well, there is a few examples of some exercises that you can do which target each individual one. So as I previously mentioned in the video, when or if I hit 100 subscribers, I'll be going in my full training program in detail, each exercise, each rep, each set, all of that good stuff. So that'll go over my arm day and my shoulders, triceps, back and biceps as well. So I'm not actually going to go over a program for arms in this video. That'll be included in that video, but here are just a few examples that you can incorporate into the days where you train biceps, where you can have an exercise that will hit each different muscle group in the biceps. Alright, next I want to go over the triceps. So your triceps are split up into three muscles as well. You've got the lateral head, the long head, and the medial head. People often underestimate how big your triceps are. They can go all the way from down from where your elbow ends all the way up to your delts. And as you develop your triceps, you'll be able to feel and push. I don't know if you can see on camera there, you can sort of see that little horseshoe shape that forms. So again, like the biceps, you want to make sure you're hitting each of those when you train your triceps. So I'm going to put a picture on screen now just to show a little diagram of where they are and what they look like, and a few exercises you can do to hit all of these. What I want you to take away from this video is how often you should be training your arms, in terms of if you want to maximize growth. If you want to train for strength, like a powerlifting sort of style, then this sort of training frequency probably won't work for you, as you're probably going to be doing push-pull legs. But if you do a different split, sort of similar to mine, you can incorporate this. You want to make sure you're hitting all the different heads of the biceps and triceps, as I've mentioned. You must be given that 48 hours of rest in between to ensure you're fully rested, fully recovered, and that will enable you to go harder again when you come back to training the next time. Also, what I see a lot of the time with people that train arms is they do a lot of reps with sort of a lighter weight, sort of chasing a pump, whereas I prefer to sort of lower the reps and train heavier and proper focus on time under tension, as I feel like for me, when I started to incorporate that, that's when my arms sort of blew up really. I'll put a picture on the screen now from when I entered lockdown, what my arms look like to now. And during that time is when I stopped doing the light reps, just proper curling as fast as I can, to proper slowing the motion down on the eccentric and concentric contractions, so I can proper feel the squeeze when I'm training. And for me that feels and works much better, I believe. So I encourage you guys to try that as well. Put the weight up heavier, sort of take the reps down and proper focus on that movement. And trust me, you'll feel it much more. What I see a lot of people do is when they're doing bicep curls, they tend to swing and bring their elbows up, so they're using that momentum to lift the weight up. And it can be the same with the triceps. That they go all the way up and they're sort of swinging down, pulling down, and really that's just a waste of energy, and that's not really working too well. What you want to really focus on is having that lever of your elbow tucked into the side, nice and still, and you're just pulling with your biceps and just pulling with your triceps, rather than swinging and using all the momentum to pull the weight. You really want to use the muscles in your arms, and you'll see proper growth and progress when you do that. Okay, so I hope that's beneficial to all of you out there. I just want to give a quick summary, because I know I ramble on quite a lot. So if you're going to go down that bodybuilder route like I am, you want to train your arms at least twice a week. That's hitting your triceps and biceps twice a week, whether you want to do it on push-pull legs, whether you want to do it on an arm day and then triceps or something else, biceps or something else, whatever. As long as you do them twice a week, having that 48-hour rest in between, that'll be fine. Keeping those elbows nice and still, so you're using all the muscles in your arms rather than that momentum to lift the weight. So that's going to do it for this video. As I previously mentioned, if or when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to release that full, long, in-depth, in-detail video, the whole shebang on my training plan, and my plans for the future, really, because I do have some exciting things coming up. in that video, it'll be my full plan to every rep, and why I do it, the explanation behind it, so you guys can get a full, transparent view of how I train in detail. I think that'd be quite interesting because that plan took me a while to put together because I was really unsure of where I wanted to go in the sort of fitness area. So yeah, hopefully that video will be coming soon. I do plan to stay really consistent with these videos because I really do enjoy making them, and the feedback I've had from the people that have watched these videos has really encouraged me and motivated me to keep going. Again, there's probably not the best quality production wise and content wise. Apologies for that because I am new to this. But I will strive to improve as I keep putting out more content. So yeah, if you've liked this video, drop a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, all that good stuff. Share it around. If you have any ideas, drop them in the comments below because I will be uploading every week. That is my plan for this year. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.